Okay, in this video I'm going to talk about when another person, a narcissistic, toxic, you usually call them toxic person, sets you up to fail. Okay, and you can see this can happen to you in different arenas in life. You know, it doesn't have to be in, it could be your, somebody that you thought of as a friend and found out, realized they're not. It could be many arenas, but I'm going to talk about when it's at work, because I think that more people can relate to when it's at work. Okay, and I'm going to use an example of something that happened to me just a few years ago. It was after I had switched the kinds of job that I did, switched fields, and I was trying to find one that I fit, that I liked, and it's very important in that field to do that, to find a place that you like, that you fit in. And I went to this one, and everything was really going great, except for one thing. Well, actually, two people. I can't even say two people. Really, it was three. But it was two. I was in management, and two of these others were in management, and the other person, she basically went around bragging that she would work her best to get everybody that was in management fired, and that she had done it for years. Turns out she had, and she had an interesting way of keeping her job, which was when she met someone. She was from a different country originally, and when she met anybody new that was hired, she would immediately call the human resources immediately. As soon as she saw the person, that they, weren't from the same country she was from, she would call them and say, the human resources, and say, this person is prejudiced against me. Okay, and this person is, racist or whatever. She may have just met the person wasn't even that, but that's how she kept her job. And all the while causing problems. Okay, another one that was in management. That woman was not in management. Now, one of the women of the two in management was hired from the corporate office, and she felt she was a hotshot kind of thing. And the other one was the executive director, not hired through the corporate office, and she was the executive director. Well, those two women could not stand one another. They were about the same age, and the one from the corporate office, she just had this strange thing about her of saying things that were extremely awkward. And she basically would call out the executive director right in front of the rest of the staff. Things like this. Okay, so it was like, so much was going on that was it was a hostile working environment. That's what I would call a hostile working environment. But other than them, things were pretty good. Okay, I stopped at Kroger. Adam wanted a rotisserie chicken from Kroger. Anyway, I haven't gone in yet. But so maybe I won't lose my train of thought, although I already have. Anyway, the environment went around these three people, had anything to do with these three people, it was just so hostile. But the rest was fine. Okay, I'm sure many people have experienced that. When the boss and then another person in management come around, they start trouble and all this kind of stuff. They're warring with one another, and then you have somebody who's gets her kicks out of getting people fired. The woman really did. She eventually did get fired when they sold the company. So that was the only way they could get rid of her, was they sold it. Yeah. Okay, to get to the set you up to fail part. There was a man working there, and he was my age. Well, he was 6 months younger, and he and I were I think we were basically two oldest people there, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, close to it. Oh, they almost got hit. Yeah. Anyway, he was like the best looking man I have ever run across in a long time, or ever, maybe. I don't know. Maybe sans one or two. But he was extremely good looking. And the boss, the executive director, she had a thing for him. She was a few years younger. And, when looking at them, that they would, next side by side, they looked like they would match. But no, he had empathy. He was not narcissistic. He had a soul, a conscience, whatever you want to call it. She, however, did not. Not that I could tell. And basically, to get to that, is he was, I wouldn't say attracted to me, but he he and I had a good relationship, and he just wouldn't give her the time of day kind of thing. Work relationship. And she was jealous. So she set me up to fail, She set me up to do a job that no one person could ever do by themselves. And she said that was because of it that she had to let me go. There was a lot more to the story, including the woman that loved to get people fired, on and on, just a whole big mess, like I said. So I wasn't the only person she did this to. Anybody that, she just was jealous of for any particular reason, she would set them up to fail and let them go. And I also caught her with a man in the place and she shouldn't have been with. A man in the place, in the building. Yeah, that helped, right? Okay, this is starting to sound more like a vlog, which I'll make it a vlog one. A vlog video blog. Anyway, that's what she did to me, and as it turned out, the guy, she didn't fire him. And he and I were, buddy kind of, we were, Anyway, he called me and told me, he'd keep me updated on what was going on there. I actually filed a claim against them. I dropped it because they said that it would be so hard to prove and stuff. Then he had a problem and he wanted to do one. I said I'd do it for him. I don't know if he ever won it or what, but she sexually harassed him. And yes, that does happen. On jobs. She was in a power position as the executive director. He was another director, but not at that same level. She was a higher level. So, and she did in front of me, so I did not doubt him at all. I saw how she would act about him, how she would say things about him that were inappropriate. I saw, was sitting there when she would ask people, one woman I think was 60 years old, and I was 50 at the time. One person older, and she sat there and asked her, "What is your age?" And the woman didn't say anything because that's illegal to ask, and you can't ask somebody that. Can be age discrimination. And the woman refused to answer. She says, "What?" And the executive director says, "You don't have to answer. I just go look it up on your, in your chart, on your resume, not resume, but application." Yeah, there's the word. Anyway, she was awful, but that's what she would do is she would set people up to fail and, give them something to do and then say, well, if you can't do your, the job duties assigned to you, then therefore we have to let you go. She would never say fired. She would always say let you go, and basically the woman that had the employee that was I don't know what to call her. She would win, but it wasn't that, she would see people fired, but she wasn't really doing it so much as it would be that person's going to get killed. So much as the boss. It was always too much hostility in the management and everything like that. Anyway, I'm kind of rambling. I'm going to go in that store, so I'll stop rambling. But anyway, this is kind of more of a vlog one, I guess. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.